Hi guys, it's Squidly. Today I'm going to talk to you about my winter sleeping bags. Both of the sleeping bags that I'm going to talk to you about today are by the same manufacturer and have the same name. And I'll get to why in just a few minutes. The first one that I got was the Hyke and Byke Eolus 15. And when I bought it, I made a mistake. It is not Hyke and Byke's mistake, it was my mistake. At 15 degrees, I thought, well, that's perfect because that covers most of the winter backpacking that I do because I live in the deep south and we do get some cold weather, but not anything like if you're in Wisconsin or somewhere like that. But we do get some cold weather. So, and also most of the backpacking that I do is what in Alabama we call three season, which is fall, winter, spring, because you don't go in the summer. So I got this 15 degree, and the first time I took it, the low was it was mid to low 20s, and maybe it was 23 degrees, and I got pretty cold. But that night, I had an inflatable sleeping pad that failed on me, and I've had it out in some pretty cold weather, but it failed. It would not hold air, and I thought, well, I'll just make do. And I did, but I got pretty cold. So the fact that I got pretty cold, I'm not 100% sure that it was the sleeping bag or if it was the sleeping pad. I tend to think it was more the sleeping pad than the sleeping bag. But when I got home, I looked up the sleeping bag and realized then what part of my mistake was. That 15 degree was a survival limit. The comfort limit is 30 degrees, but I'm a pretty warm sleeper, so I'm convinced now that I could probably go down to 25 degrees with this sleeping bag and still be comfortable. I have had it as warm as having lows in the 40s, and I do get pretty warm with it, but typically what I do is I just wear it like instead of wearing it as like a mummy bag, and zipping it all the way up, I usually just put my feet in the foot box and drape the rest of it over me like it's a quilt, which sort of makes you think, okay, well, why don't you just have a quilt? May get to that in a minute too. But the Eolus 15 is a good sleeping bag for most of what I do. Once I realized I had made the mistake, and I can't remember now what it was, but I saw something and there was some communication with Hyke and Byke, and I responded to it and just said, hey, I wish I had gotten the 0 degree. I made a mistake. It wasn't your mistake, it was mine. And they got back to me and sent me a code for a discount on getting a 0 degree. Well, I thought, well, that was really generous of them because they certainly didn't have to acknowledge that the mistake was even made, never mind participate in it with me. So I will say though that this is an 800 fill power down sleeping bag. It was, and by the way, I do have notes here. It is 2.6 pounds, so it's pretty lightweight. And in just a minute, I'll stuff it in its stuff sack and show you how compact it gets. It does get really, really compact. And one more thing about the Eolus 15 is I just checked today what the price online for it was, and it was $194.97. So for an 800 fill power sleeping bag, that's a 15 degree survival, 30 degree comfort, I think that's pretty good. So I took the discount code that they gave me and decided I was going to get a 0 degree. And the 0 degree, of course, is survival limit, but that takes you down to a comfort limit of 15 degrees. So that gets to the bottom limit of anything that I do with winter backpacking. If the lows are going to be below 15, I'm probably not going to go. Now, in the past I have, and I've gone and I've enjoyed myself and had a ball, but I think I'm just at an age where I'm not going to do that anymore. But 15 degrees is about the lower limit. So I used the discount code and got the Eolus 0 degree, and today it was showing that it is $214.97. Again, that is 800 fill power goose down, and this one is 3.2 pounds. So a little bit heavier, which you would, of course, expect. I got them in two different colors. I hope it's for an obvious reason so that I don't mix them up. I got a different color so that just at a glance I know which bag that I'm grabbing. At this point, I have not used the 0 degree. I have not used it in the field, so I really can't speak to just how warm and toasty it is. I can speak to the 15 degree and say that it is a really comfortable sleeping bag, and Hyke and Byke, I think, is, as far as cottage industries go, is probably underappreciated. I just don't hear much about them from other backpackers, and in particular on YouTube. I don't see or hear anything about them, but I can tell you that the gear that they're producing is really good stuff, or at least the gear that I've got that's from them is quality stuff, and I'm really enjoying their sleeping bags and the prices of them, because I know that these cottage companies have a reputation for producing quality gear at a premium price. And what it looks like with the Hyke and Byke, the Eolus line, is that it's quality gear, but not at the premium price. It's a little bit less than what you might expect to pay for this kind of stuff. You can see that in their stuff sacks, they do compress down pretty tight. I tried one time to use the 15 degree in my backpack without using the stuff sack, and just found that it's got so much loft in it that stuffing it in there, it was just taking up way too much space. And so using the compression stuff sack, to me, just makes a little bit more sense. So this is the size they get to. They are lightweight. The company is really good and was responsive to my mistake, not theirs. And so far, the 15 degree has been a fantastic purchase. Jury's still out on the 0 degree. I'm sure at some point I'll use it, hopefully this winter. I'll have a chance to use it and report to how functional it is and how effective it is down into some lower temperatures than I would ever go here. Down in the comments below, let me know what you're using as far as down sleeping bags and how effective they've been for you. And if you have any experience with the Hyke and Byke line, give me some of your feedback there too. And if you have any questions about any of the sleeping bags that I'm talking about here, leave the questions down there. If there's something that maybe I haven't touched on, I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. All right, that's it, guys. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.